Hi, Gemini. Welcome to your reading for Cancer season. This reading is entitled The One They Love to Hate. Throughout this video, I will stand in for said Gemini, who is literally just living their life, feeling themselves, thinking out loud, and somehow triggers insecurities, fears, doubts. There are people out there being wounded by you, Gemini, and you're not doing a thing. I mean, you're doing stuff, but not to anybody else. High Priestess, Queen of Cups, and Temperance. Yeah, Jupiter moving into Cancer. We were just about to talk about it. And then that Scorpio card and the Two of Swords. And we have to talk about this. Okay. So first, let's talk about that High Priestess and that Queen of Cups and that Jupiter card, Temperance, Sagittarius card. In 2 days, Jupiter will move into Cancer. So we go from an intellectual Jupiter in Gemini is like, this is what the relationship has looked like throughout time. These are the cultures where romance is favored. These are the cultures where efficiency and financial security are favored. You have spent your time with Jupiter and Gemini really finding the philosophical sweet spot for yourself. What does it mean to be in a relationship? What do you want out of that? Jupiter in Cancer is completely different. Jupiter in Cancer is extremely sensual, extremely sexual, and it will not, we are not immune to it. We are for sure affected by it to such a degree, in fact, that after such a highly philosophical, lofty period of examining relationships, from somewhere up here in the air, we are taken, down into the depths of the ocean. And what a relationship looks like down there. Of course, it's highly sexual because it's about survival at that depth, right? Now, at the same time, you have this. Venus moves into Taurus, Gemini rising, that is your 12th house. And Gemini, you have Uranus moving out of Taurus, Gemini rising your 12th house, into your first house, Gemini, into your natal sun placement. So that Death and Two of Swords is you realizing, perhaps not yet, probably during the square on the 15th, realizing what still wounds you. Sometimes we feel like we're healed, and even if your externality changes, there's something still, but the good news is realizing you're still hurt is just the first step in healing that part of you because you've identified it. So Venus in Taurus, it lets you know that there's a slight sting somewhere still in your past, that that wound is still bleeding now. It doesn't have to be that big a deal, but it's something that you should readily acknowledge and then realize how much stress it actually causes you, and then move forward with whatever understanding you gain from having held that so long and needing to feel that for so long. What were you What did you need from it that was so powerful that you were able to completely block it out of your experience? But there it was, really hurting you. You'll feel some sting of that probably surrounding your pride. And these last few days, you know that Mars is in Leo until the 17th, I believe. Yep. It's not, it's not pleasant to realize that you still have pain, but it's like you recognize it in June, and between the 10th and the 26th, you have this period where you can kind of just make gold out of anything. You're Rumpelstiltskin. Circle of life. Your intellectual creativity is off the charts, and I think it's because the recognition that I'm still harboring some pain. I'm still not all the way myself and as great as I really am, because I'm still holding on to this thing that somebody did to me, or maybe I believed this thing that they told me that I was, or whatever wounding you have, whether it's to your self-image, to your body, to your emotions, wherever the pain is. You feel it, identify it. If you haven't already, you have about 4 or 5 more days where you can really get to the heart of it. Mercury's going to move into Cancer, and then you can do something amazing from the 10th to 26th. You have this period where your words work with your imagery, which works with your ideas, which works with your look. You're just like a walking, talking vision that you have come to life. You just keep tweaking stuff about yourself, about your home, about the way that you are, your fucking posture, everything. And you're even, I think the thing that's most freeing about that momentary, like, ooh, ow, why does that still hurt? I think the reason it's so worth it to have this experience is because on the other side of that sublimated pain is another level of freedom that you can attain very easily right now, that will feel even better than we feel now, And if you're not feeling so great, first of all, I'm sorry, it's okay. Everything's going to be okay. Don't worry, because Uranus is moving into our sign, and I think that if there's anyone who's designed to tangle with that energy and really have a good time in the midst of all that, it's going to be us. We are approaching a time where so much of what we have been thinking and what's been knocking around in our subconscious gets concentrated and focused in one area. And everything moving into Cancer, Jupiter, Mercury, then the Sun, and then Mars leading the way, moving from Leo to Virgo. It's like a laser beam that you've thought up with all these different ideas and all these different, creative endeavors and all the different things you see for yourself, your dreams, your daydreams, your meditations. You've carved something out, and it's concentrating and getting focused, and it's that laser is pointing somewhere. So the most, I suppose, important advice right now is to not be afraid or even let the painful realizations affect you at all. Don't be afraid of them, and don't let them hurt you. Use each one of them as a jumping off point, and best part is you're in the right. These motherfuckers wronged you. You're in the right. You didn't do anything. Maybe for some people that's not like a big deal. For me, I love that shit. Because I get painted as the villain so often. I love when people are like, oh yeah, that was actually my fault. I was the one who was being a piece of shit. Yeah, I know that. It's so easy to put it on me. So do it. Put it on me. Now, I will say this first card, let's just talk about it. Donald Trump is a Gemini, Elon Musk is a Gemini, Xi Jinping leader of the CCP. Gemini, everybody just be quiet. All us Geminis. I was talking about this on my live the other day. I was like, hey, have you noticed that sometimes I just shut the fuck up and I don't say anything? Because there are certain times when we need to be creating, not talking. That's it. It's that simple. This is not a time for us to be out here disseminating any kind of information. We are in a highly creative period where everything is a bit like this. But the cool thing about us is that we are easy to turn that into this because we're not afraid. No matter what we see in these cups, we're like, okay, cool. That would look good on a t-shirt. What's that? Is that like a snake? Like, we don't give a it's such a quintessential like Gemini quality to be like, oh, that would look awesome on a t-shirt. Whatever it is, whatever confusion that everybody's in, which is why we shouldn't be speaking, High Priestess, it works so well when we make something of it instead of trying to fight it. This is not a time to try to make sense of things. Not to like bash Cancerians, not at all. But Jupiter in Cancer, I'm a Cancer rising. Jupiter in Cancer is, you know, like this person is so cool. So cool. But there's like certain things you know about her. You know? She's so cool. She's so cool. But she's also like hella moody, right? And like you don't want to be on her bad side either because her temper goes like crazy, right? Jupiter in Cancer gets a little bit primal. It's going to get a little bit... I always come back to that Joseph Campbell little, you know, mind walk that he went on with this concept of nature and how, especially in Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, the conceptualization of nature is that it's quite like rancid, like the bottom of the ocean, you know, and that life, one of the kind of defining qualities of life, whether it's primordial life or not, it smells, you know. Jupiter in Cancer is like, it's great, you know, because like Jupiter and the ocean, yay. Lots of bigness there, right? But it's also Jupiter at the bottom of the ocean and all the things that lie buried in the sand and all the secrets of the deep. Like, there's a bit of gunk here. The cool thing about us, once again, I'd like to stress, is that we're good with gunk. Maybe it's the perfect color. I don't know why she talks like that. Do you see? We're good with this period. We can do a lot with this. But if you'd rather not be, because our ambition is also through the roof. It's not just excessive desire sexually. We're also like, I wanna like be here already. You know? The only thing really stopping you from this is getting in your feelings about something that happened in the past or something that's happening now where you are 100% sure that the person that you are dealing with or talking to, whether it's a coworker, a romantic interest, a sibling, whatever the fuck is going on, those situations where you are 100% positive that there's no consideration being taken for your feelings, every one of those situations need to be frozen and put on pause. That's it. You can come back to it later and, you know, if you feel like making your case for why you should be treated better, I would advise you not to, but you can do it later if you want to. But right now, trying to right wrongs from the past, trying to teach someone how to behave, trying to teach someone how to treat you is the worst way to use your energy. And it will get you caught up in all kinds of situations where you will end up looking stupid because that person will clown you. Now, also, the Magician, the Six of Wands, so success. Inshallah, success. Please shut the fuck up. Please don't tell anybody what you're doing. Please don't, even when it's good and it's big, and just don't post it. Don't tell anybody. Just keep things to yourself for a while. If you want to pop out in August during Virgo season and be like, guess what, you guys, I did this and this and this, cool. But I think a low profile summer really suits you best, because suits us best, because you can rack up all these wins. And my personal favorite is to do so much cool shit that people I know call me and are like, yo, I saw you into it. What the fuck are you doing? Why didn't you tell me? Because none of your business. It's my job. What? You see, like, get there. Get to the point where just keep doing dope shit until it catches up with you. Don't tell anybody shit. And turn off that feature on TikTok where they push it to your friends and family first, because it's the reason you're not going viral. Because if your friends and family don't like it and retweet it, then they just assume that no one else is gonna like it. But when you turn that off and your content actually reaches strangers, they fucking love it, and it's easy to go viral. It's just such a great metaphor for, like, don't tell people shit. Okay, so very important. Why? Because it's a kind of jubilant kind of success indicated here, you know. And I'm all for this Scorpio card and this Two of Swords, because yeah, we are walking around, you know, it's like we're the only one that doesn't see that we still have a limp. And people are like, so you were in the war, right? And we're like, how did you know? And they're like, bro, you're, you know. Or we're like in the corner having a PTSD like freak out, and they're like, oh, you were in the war. And we're like, how could you possibly know that? We're all having like Tom Shelby moments, I think, where it's like, yay, we're successful. Peaky Blinders, if you don't know. Yay, we're successful. Cillian Murphy is a Gemini, the lead character. But like every now and then he's in the tunnel trying to like dig his way out to light. You know what I mean? Every night the Nazis are trying to come through the walls. Jesus Christ. Like, we have our moments where we are overcome by that which we have chosen to sublimate because we thought it was time. Like, let's move on. Enough of this. The summer's coming. Like, we need to do our shit. We need to be happy. We need to do things. I can't be held back by this anymore. I feel better. I really do feel better. And then we move forward. And it's like there are parts of us that are like, oh, actually, I feel better. But wow, that did sting. It doesn't mean I'm still back there, but it does mean that I'm holding that. Good to know, and you can let it go. So it's much more impersonal, but these moments, you know, honor them and take the time to be like, ooh, ow, let me pull that thorn out. And I think what you get to replace those little places, you know, those little holes in you, right? Those little bullet holes in you. I think what you get to replace them with is purpose. It's a success that comes out of you feeling very in tune with whatever you're doing, whether it's your creativity, your work, your relationships. You feel like you're floating through it, like as if you know it's going to happen before it's going to happen, because you're just so energetically aligned with all of it. The more you are able to detoxify all this pain out of you, the easier your remaining in flow becomes. And, you know, soon you can get to the point by the height of summer in a few weeks here where you really feel yourself so in the flow of life that it's very possible to, I love this mix of cards, to find, you know, the gold in everything, the gold in anything. Because it's your energy that makes it, you know, what it is. I really like this. I think some people are quite alarmist about transits, and there's, good transits and bad transits. I don't really know anything about that. I do know that we've spent a long time with Uranus breathing down our necks, and we're quite ready to wrangle with it ourselves. We probably feel like we have some scores to settle, honestly. And maybe you feel that way about disruptive and chaotic people in your life as well right now. But that High Priestess coming out for us, it really is important. It's very necessary for you to understand what this means. This is your time to grow, create, build. All of that happens in silence. It's not our time to be out here judging other people. Let them judge you for how successful you are and how much you don't give a fuck. Right? Love you. I'll see you in the extended-o. All those links are below. Ooh, bye. Hi, Gemini. I forgot we're doing a look at the cards as well in the general. And in the extended, we'll do a new reading, new shuffle for work, money, health, wellness, the little bit of psychological stuff at the end. Now, the reason I think this June 10th to the 26th is such a creative sweet spot, it's actually a creative / financial sweet spot. You're not just creative, you're creative in a way that you can make money off of. My favorite. And the reason I think so is because Mercury will move into Cancer on the 9th. Jupiter moves into Cancer on the 10th. The Sun moves into Cancer on the 21st, but then Mercury will leave Cancer on the 26th. So from the 9th, really the 10th, because then you have Jupiter there as well, from the 10th to the 26th, you have a period, especially from the 21st to the 26th, where your creativity, your mind, your sense of style and story and taste, everything is just off the charts amazing. And in a way that like people really respond to. My advice would be to write the thing, take the pictures, make the content, style the thing, wear the outfit, all of it. Bring your ideas to life and watch, inshallah, how these ideas that are created at this time can carry you through to some really promising financial situations in a few months. It's all fueled by this kind of sweetness, Mercury in Cancer is a very sweet placement. Mercury in Cancer understands that the easiest way to get things done is to be really nice. Mercury in Cancer understands that when you're really nice, people want to do stuff for you. It's quite cool. And doors open up for Mercury Cancer with just some well-placed words and a sweet disposition. So keep that in mind. Doesn't mean that your art or your work has to be sweet. It's more in terms of your dealings with others. And there's no good reason not to be sweet. It's a beautiful time, and you are afforded a lot of very powerful energies to use as you wish. And if you're able to use them again, to make something out of that intellectual creativity that is your birthright, I think, firstly, you'll be so impressed with yourself. But also, there's all these people that I feel like they need to have it put in their face that they've been underestimating you this whole time. You know? I feel like there's a reckoning coming for those people. And they fucking deserve it. Anyway, so the other thing about Jupiter moving into Cancer is that on the 15th, remember I said the square? On the 15th, Jupiter, having moved into Cancer and now in a cardinal sign, will square Saturn, which is also in a fellow cardinal sign in Aries. And then Jupiter will square Neptune, which is also in Aries. So you have these moments where you want to do the wrong thing, and then, you know, within a few days you have moments where you're completely caught for it and there's no way to get out of it. So whether that applies to your fidelity or your habitual use of anything or whatever bad habit you might have, around the 10th, you're going to want to do that thing real bad. And from the 15th to the 19th, it's real easy to get caught for it. So everything on the up and up, really not a time to slip. However, interesting that part of this is the same time period that's creatively very good for you. So just don't pass that creativity off as the truth, I guess is what I'm trying to say. You know? Also, these squares make it really easy to feel embarrassed about something that you've either done or said that you didn't need to. So I think that High Priestess is very, I mean, it's the whole reading for me. You know, sometimes like the reading is really just one card. It's so exactly what we need to be doing right now. Also, I don't know if you've gotten there yet, but it's on the horizon. Have you started to feel that sense of leaning back yet? Where your enthusiasm has kind of morphed into a coolness. Whereas before you were like the preteen jumping up and down and fangirling over something. Now you're like the cool, moody teenager. Do you feel this? It's so laid back. It's so I really don't give a fuck. It's so attractive. I love this for us. Take full advantage. Be extra fucking cool out, bitch, this summer. Just like, yay. No, nothing more. You are enthusiastic on the inside. You know? You know? I'm not your cheerleading squad anymore. I'm judging you. Quietly to myself. I'm not being a hateful bitch. I'm just looking at you. Because I'm not going to be the puppy jumping up and down in the room to overcompensate for whatever fucking off energy is going on in here right now. Boy, this fucking room is fucking tilted. Now I gotta come in here and be all fucking life of the party just to make things fucking copacetic and not weird. No. I will also go stand in the corner and be a fucking weirdo. And judge it all silently. We're being moody. We're in our moody era. We're in our emo era. Uranus is moving into our sign. We're all gonna start dressing like the crow. I loved dressing like the crow. That was my jam. That was my fucking jam. Outside of having a child, it's like the happiest I've ever been. You know?
yeah, we're cool. We're emo. We're laid back. We're like, yeah, I'm working on something right now. It's going to be great. Like, you know, we're in a different zone. I don't need your applause. You can keep hating if you want to. That's cool. I'm low profile, so it doesn't matter. But we're not seeking anything right now. If anything, we're like, oh, too many eyes. The lights are so bright. You know? We can afford to, we're at that point in our artistic career where we can afford to put on the sunglasses, Bob Dylan, and start mumbling all the time. Because you know, you fucking know we're dope. That's it. I don't need to keep fucking proving this shit over and over again. That we're done with that. We're moving on to chaos. Fucking keep up. You know? We're done with this shit. We're like, now we're gonna make real art. Yeah. And that's, ladies and gentlemen, and the rest of us, is why everybody hates us. Because we move so quickly and we move on to the next thing, and then everyone else feels dumb. We're like, consumerism, no, now it's rebellion and art and defiance. Yeah, we're done with all that. You don't need to praise me for that. I don't care. I don't care. It's the wrong color. You know, we have, as we always do, much like any orchid, we've adapted to our surroundings. And because we are who we are, we will make that adaptation very stylish. The visions, the paintings, the writings, the outfits, the hairstyles, everything that comes out of this period from Geminis will be very special. And we all deserve to be a part of that because we all have something to say, and we are such clear, such pure channelers of that energy. So don't get caught up. Don't allow anything to bother you out of your flow. And when you encounter things that do, make a note of them. I promise you those things will come up, those people, it'll be the same people again and again. A list of culprits starts to emerge. But it's all very positive. Just don't get too caught up sexually. Your pride will get involved. And you'll just hurt your own feelings. Let it be casual, let it be secret. Don't tell anybody anything, not now. Not right now. Later, yeah, but not now. Too many eyes, too many people wanting you to trip up. And if you've already made the mistake of letting people in on your love life or your sex life, time to do the next best thing, which is just shut the fuck up from now. Moving forward, don't say another fucking word. It is an enormous advantage in life. Okay, I love you. I'll see you in the extended.